In today's video, I want to go over some details of some PlayStation 4 games, one of them being a PS4 console exclusive that's going a little bit under the radar, and the other one is another very exciting title where you can become the Baba Yaga in John Wick's Hex. That's out on May 5th. We'll go over that at the end of this video, but I really want to first talk about Boundary. That has been pushed to General 2020, but it does seem like it'll be coming this year. This is a game being done by publisher Hua and developer Studio Surgical Scaples, and they've delayed PlayStation China Hero Project sponsored tactical space first-person shooter Boundary from its previously planned Q1 2020 release window. While that was planned, I think at this point the majority of us realized that wouldn't happen given that Q1 is in fact over and we had never actually heard an official release date, but now it's coming in General 2020, and I'd like to think that it's actually going to hit that window. A lot of these games from China have been in development for a very long time, so hopefully we can get some progress on them and have these games actually come out. But along with that, we got a significant amount of new details on the game, including its zero-gravity combat being detailed, noting we call our armed astronauts AO or Astro Operators, and you'll need to think like one in Boundary. Movement is turned on its head in space. You have full freedom of movement, and you aren't restricted by gravity like you are in most shooters, but keep this in mind, as many possibilities as zero-gravity opens up, it brings even more challenges. A well-trained AO knows how to use the environment to their advantage. Floating debris makes for a good blind spot to conceal your approach. A solar panel might be a good spot to plan an ambush against unsuspecting foe, and you can even use your grappling hook for substantial acceleration from one point to the other. Customization is going to be a big part of this game, and customizing your specialist is also an element of the game. Many characters in Boundary can be specialized as multi-role combatants. Our experienced AO, Lucas, can act as an assaulter or a sniper specialist, each with its own tactical ability. As an assaulter, Lucas can give himself an agonist shot to strengthen his senses, kind of like an adrenaline shot. As a sniper, he can utilize an auxiliary arm that gives him a stable platform to steady his shot. Every AO has their own active and passive ability, as well as different basic capabilities like armor or health. These give them their own unique roles in the harsh battlefield of space, and it also notes it's a combination of aerospace and modern firearms. Besides the gameplay, we're also quite proud of the art design in Boundary. There are two elements we have always tried to emphasize in our art design. We are trying to build a believable world in which aerospace technology and modern military weapons are integrated together. These two elements were the foundation of our design ethos. We approach development from perspective: if man engaged in conflict in outer space, what would it look like? Boundary is our vision of space military operations, with some obvious artistic license from us too, of course. Many others have probably dreamt about this idea. I hope you like where our imagination took us. Again, that's coming directly from the PlayStation blog and developer and producer over at Surgical Scapple Studio. So Boundary has been in development for quite a while, but now they're stamping down and saying that it is coming this year. The main features of Boundary are ready and complete. The dev team is now focusing on testing network connection and adding more extendable content like personalization, as well as even more maps and weapon. If you're a fan of sci-fi games, I think this is one to definitely have on your radar, and more so than anything, I really want to see these China Hero projects get off the ground and make some significant impact. We've known about these games for quite a while. However, we just haven't seen a steady stream of them actually being released over here in the West. Boundary was the first title that received funding to broaden high-quality Chinese-developed titles to a global market. Project Boundary, as it was previously known, is designed as a tactical shooter styled with a light MOBA design and feel to it. It's set in a not-too-distant future. Boundary blends science fiction with a modern military theme. First and foremost, Boundary is being positioned as a tactical multiplayer FPS with a focus on fast, arcade-inspired gameplay, light MOBA mechanics. This is a game that sees aggressive zero-gravity interdiction missions against mercenaries, pirates, and hijackers, represented by a Team VT multiplayer setup. So multiplayer is going to be a big element to the game as well. Boundary is primarily a multiplayer game. It does not have a single player story. Multiplayer gameplay is kept fast and agile with a 5v5 setup. Modes will include free-for-all, team deathmatch, facility capture, and orbital purge modes, the latter of which, facility capture and orbital purge, are based around domination and elimination style of gameplay. Multiplayer matches are designed to incorporate aggressive combat and quick gameplay mechanics, and as far as maps and modes go, you have a variety of multiplayer maps that are planned for Boundary that include a solar farm museum, circular complex, orbital fuel station, and a spacecraft debris field. Further details and a closer look at these locations will be revealed later on, and again, a plethora of different weapons, combat progression, and platform. It was noted Boundary will launch on PS4 first, and then PC is tentatively lined up as well, so we'll go over that. But for now, it is a PlayStation 4 console exclusive, but a PC version will be happening. Again, for fans of sci-fi shooters, and for people that still think the PS4 is kind of on its downside, yeah, the PS5 is coming out, but there are still some compelling games dropping on the PS4, and Boundary is definitely adding to that lineup. Alright, next up, also, Mike Bithell had a very in-depth post about John Wick's Hex. That's out May 5th on PS4, noting, let's talk about the game. John Wick Hex is a timeline strategy game, meaning it's a game where you take control of Wick's second-to-second decision-making, but critically, it's not turn-based, it's time-based. Actions take a specific amount of time to perform, so as you play, you'll need to time your performance around that of your enemies. It's a dance choreography, fight choreography specifically, and it's fight choreography informed by the action team behind the John Wick movie, so your action will follow the rules and challenges of what you've seen in the films. Indeed, in playtesting, we found that players who were fans of the movies actually play better, so rewatching the trilogy between now and our launch might be a good idea. Chad Stahelski was editing John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum while giving me feedback on our mechanics. He's a multitasker with lots of great opinions. We've worked together into our design throughout development. Bringing the game to PlayStation has been a lot of fun, noting the developer, the fine people at Ant Workshop, have collaborated with the game's original creators to create a version of the game redesigned from the ground up to put Wick's skill at your thumb tips. The game feels just right on the DualShock 4 in a way that surprised even us. You'll hit a speed and grace as you play strategically, which is surprising and rewarding, and you'll need to know if you want to grab every trophy on offer. This is a game which will serve as an introductory title to the strategy genre, and if you've always wanted to play one but been too afraid to try, at the same time, it's a game which rewards the new skill strategy veterans will be developing as you go, and as said, some of the top tier trophies are going to take some work. I think right away what you can take away from this game is the visual style is super sleek. It's a super unique visual style as well, so that's definitely going to make the game a bit engrossing, and this is one that a lot of people have been talking about for quite a while, but it will finally be out on May 5th, so it'll be interesting to see how it ultimately turns out. Might not be for everyone given the timeline strategy-based mechanics, and typically speaking, for PS4 gamers, strategy games isn't at the first and foremost. However, given that this is looking to be an accessible strategy game as well, I do think this is going to be a bit different. This already released on PC, received pretty well over there, all things considered. 74 top critic average, open critic rating was fair, but it will be coming to the PlayStation 4 on May 5th, so hopefully it sees another lease on life with that, with a second release. And again, it's an original news story set prior to the events of the films, which sees John on a desperate mission to rescue Winston and Karen from a dangerous new adversary seeking his birthright. The story is brought to life by the world-class voice talents of Ian McShane and Lance Reddick, reprising their iconic roles from the films, and a voice acting legend, Troy Baker. Hey, how about that? Another game with Troy Baker joining the stellar cast of the game's eponymous villain, Hex. John Wick Hex complements the style of the films with a unique graphic noir art style and an original score by renowned composer Austin Winnery. So that'll be out on May 5th. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, some PlayStation titles you might not be completely aware about, especially in the case of Boundary. These Chinese PS4 games always seem to go a little bit under the radar. I think we need a little bit more consistency before people realize that these games do have potential, but we'll see how Boundary turns out. We're still waiting for games like Lost Soul Aside. We're looking for other Chinese titles as well, so hopefully those make consistent progress. And again, but become the Baba Yaga in John Wick's Hex. That is out May 5th on the PS4. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.